Welcome back to Studio 5, where we are continuing a conversation that we started yesterday here on the show, talking about the reality check many women face as their children start to grow a little older. We introduced you to Kelly Winslow, a stay-at-home mom of 3 who realized her role was changing when her children started school full-time. So Kelly did what a lot of midlife moms do. She panicked just a little, then she chose to reinvent herself. Here's her story.
You can start to see, especially maybe when your youngest is around 4 or 5, that this is going to go by fast, and I'm going to be at home and they're not going to need me as much. And it kind of gives you a little panic, like you're losing your job. Last year he started 1st grade, so in school full-time, and that really opened up a lot of free time for me. And I decided to go back to school. I'm going into health promotion and education. You know, life happens, and I am the type of person that likes to be prepared. If something were to happen to my husband or our current employment, I really didn't have a lot of opportunities for myself.
Sounds like it's a great day.
They've been my full-time job all of this time. I felt like I needed to make sure that I could depend on myself. I would be able to support my family if I needed to, but also maybe enjoy a career as well. And kind of had those feelings that I would not be as needed, and needed to kind of find a balance where I needed to find something for myself. I thought, I'm just going to take this one semester at a time, and it's been fantastic. I've loved every minute of it.
Well, the goal is to help children grow up, but when they do, moms may be left wondering, now what? Studio 5 contributor and therapist Julie Hanks is here with some ideas on how to create a new mid-mom life. We often talk about transitions and how they affect kids, but they can affect parents too.
Yeah, and often as moms, we don't give ourselves that preparation time to really recognize, like, this is a big transition. And when our kids go to college, which it's like several years of preparation, but we need to allow ourselves that as moms, that time to prepare for this big life change.
You say there's one question that you would encourage all midlife moms, as we've kind of labeled them through this little mini series, one question they should ask themselves. What is it?
Yeah, it's, you know, if you believed you were capable of anything, what would you do? What would you do? And so this is a time to really reclaim youthful dreams. So do you remember, Brooke, when you were little, it's like, I want to be an astronaut, a firefighter, I want to be a dancer. Like, you really believed you could do anything.
For me, it was all 3 of those things. Ballerina, teacher, firefighter, and journalist were all on the list. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I was shooting high.
So it's a time to really reclaim that.
Yeah.
You can be and do and learn new things. My mother-in-law took up tennis at 50. And she's won like gold medals in the senior games, but she didn't start until she was 50. And so this is an exciting time to kind of reclaim whatever those passions were that maybe got put on the back burner, that you can now kind of pick it back up and run with it.
That almost seems like the obvious first step, right? Pick up a passion or a hobby and run with it. But what is it about options maybe that leave women feeling a little paralyzed? Like, I was this for so long. I was a caretaker, a mother. I was making those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I was doing laundry. And all of a sudden they kind of feel stuck. Like, I don't even know where to start when it comes to finding a passion.
Yeah. A lot of women that come in to work with me say that, like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
For so long they've put themselves, like you said, on the back burner, that it's like they don't even know.
Right.
So that's the first question, really, is to go, what do I want?
Yeah.
Because so often women do not ask themselves, what do I want to do with my time? What do I want to do with the rest of my life?
It's a question they haven't even considered for many, many years. Next, you're encouraging moms to prove themselves wrong, which I think is an interesting approach. What's your theory here?
My theory is that we go through life and we develop these core beliefs about ourselves and what we can or can't do. For example, I'm not smart, or I'm not athletic, or I'm not coordinated, or I'm not artistic.
I hear a lot of women say I'm not creative.
I'm not creative.
Yeah.
Human beings are creative. period. In fact, that's my dissertation study. Is on women and creativity. So, but that's another segment. So don't get me started on that now.
Just pages of research on that.
Literally. So you can challenge those. So if you think I'm not smart, then take a class that's challenging. If you think I'm not creative, do something different. Take a painting class. Take a creative writing class. So challenge those core beliefs, because they're just beliefs. They're not true. And we just think, well, if I think it, it must be true. No.
And it might not be then that you are Picasso painting, masterpieces, but it might be that you just open your mind to the idea that I can do something I didn't think I could do.
Right. And if you can do it in one area, think about all of the possibilities that are now open. Because what you're really doing is challenging how you see yourself, and when you can see yourself differently, then you can behave differently and you can try new things.
Is how we frame it half of the battle? Because in your first 10 words, you said, this is exciting. And do you find women tend to look at the positive or the negative more easily?
Well, it depends. I think there's a tendency that we kind of think we have to pick or choose. Like, okay, if I'm a good mom, I'm going to be really sad that all my kids are in school. But, most human beings have kind of a lot of different emotions.
Yeah.
So it's important to embrace the emotional ands. That's what I call them, the and. I'm excited and I'm nervous. I'm relieved and I'm joyful. So we can have these kind of seemingly contradictory feelings, and I kind of visualize it like this. Put your arms around all of it. It's like you can be so relieved that all your kids are in school, and you can be kind of sad, and you can be scared, and you can be all of it. You don't have to pick or choose one or the other to feel.
I love that. I love that visual too.
Like
just wrapping it all up.
You can have all of those emotions about it, and it's all okay.
We're talking about this mostly as a transition of role. It's also, and this is maybe where the sadness kind of sets in, a transition of relationships, right? Your kids are becoming more independent. They're not needing you as much. You say even though that relationship is changing between mother and child, there are other relationships that maybe were on the back burner that you can then nourish and kind of bring to life a little bit more.
Yeah, so sometimes these big life transitions bring like marriage crisis. Like, okay, I have all this, now what are we going to do? We have this time together, the kids don't need us as much. So it's a really good time to invest in intimate adult relationships after investing so much time in nurturing your children, and that's so important. It's like, oh, you can maybe, practice being a girlfriend again to your husband, like spend more energy and focus on that relationship, or rekindle friendships that maybe have gone by the wayside but that you really value. So you can, let's go to lunch, let's do this, make some plans, and really start reinvesting in those adult relationships, because that is just, we've talked about this before on the show, it's so important to have those close adult relationships, and our kids can't meet those needs. They shouldn't meet those needs.
Well, and I know I'm jumping ahead 10 to 20 years from this particular age group, but you hear a lot of times about retired couples, right? When they finally step away from the workplace and they look at each other as almost strangers. It's rediscovering those relationships that you just haven't had as much time to feed.
Right, and you can do that if you do that when your kids start school or when they go off to college. Then it's like you're preparing for that retirement phase too, because if you're investing in your marriage, then you're not going to have that. Who are you? Why did I marry you?
Yeah.
We have nothing in common. You develop those things along the way.
I love the positive perspective, the idea of reframing and embracing all of the emotions and just using this time to try and to do and to explore.
Yeah, take risks and redefine yourself.
Fantastic, Julie. Thank you. Where can viewers find you if they want to schedule an appointment?
WasatchFamilyTherapy.com.
All right, fantastic. And you have 3 locations, right? We always like to emphasize that.
Utah County, Davis County, and Salt Lake County.
Great. We'll post the information to Wasatch Family Therapy on our website, and we'll be right back.